we could carry that feature over
I
on the
got you. I
Facebook
got
for
you.
real.
Let me give me like
Can
2 seconds.
you know, you can play that undertone, you know what I'm
Is
saying,
that
give a
what we
whole
needed?
vibe to this.
An intro to this joint. What's going
Yeah.
on, y'all? We back in the building. Coach's
We back.
perspective. It's been a minute, y'all, but you know what? We back and we about to bring y'all some fire. Coach AJ got a nice, hot, flaming topic for us to just dive into. So, Coach AJ, it's your world, baby.
So how are y'all feeling? Because I'm like, we took a little, you know, I've been going through the motions the past couple weeks. You know, Coach, I didn't talk. Y'all know the situation with me. So of course you never stop being a coach no matter what happens. You know what I'm saying? There's situations, no matter if you grieving, you know, if it's family, not family, if it's somebody close to you, not, it's everybody's going through like these you kind of witnessing things as you're going through it too. So like I said, it's like once you're a player, you're always a player, always thinking about things that are relevant to what you do. So no matter what we going through, we still have to know if we're investing in relationships. And I guess the reason why this came to mind, you know, like I was telling my cousin earlier, I was like, you know, investing in relationships, it's like people will see the evidence of investing, you know, or they'll experience it, right? You know, sometimes you don't have evidence as far as like some people got pictures, some people use moments of evidence to try to portray, but to me, to try to portray an investment to versus I'm leveraging or I'm taking this as an opportunity versus can I tell when somebody's investing in me or they're trying to take advantage of the opportunity? You know what I'm saying? And I was just telling him, I was like, you know, over time, how are we measuring, you know, the significance of the relationship? You know, how are we measuring it? It's like, how do I know how much I'm worth to somebody or how much I've invested or what does investing look like? And I'm just thinking like, of course, when you lose people, you kind of start to reflect over, you know, periods of time. You start thinking about the relationship, the ups and downs and things. And it's like, where's the evidence and proof of the relationship? And I'm learning that I had to take a look at myself to see all the relationships that came out of what I know was an investment. I know for a fact. But in certain moments, you kind of get to see that some people may not think it's an investment because they can't tell from people taking advantage of the opportunity or leveraging love or leveraging the relationship. They can't really tell because, you know, sometimes pictures, videos, people have, you know, they can make it look like I'm invested, but you really not, like when it come down to it. So how do I know if one, I'm investing versus just leveraging, meaning getting stuff that I need or the benefit of the situation? So I was like, okay, let's take a deep, because I don't like to look at other people, Coach Willie, you know what I'm saying? I like to look at myself because I start to look at other people and I'll be like, you know, they not you, Ashley, so they wouldn't do things like you do them. But would you still consider this an investment? Because maybe you were investing and they weren't investing in you. Maybe they were just leveraging you and what you were offering, although you were investing. So it's like, do you understand the difference? Like I'm investing, I'm really pouring into not to get something back either, but to add value. So it ain't about just investing. I ain't saying return on investment. You know how people go like, some people try to think investment, they think automatically return. We're not talking about that. An investment to me, adding value to something, adding value to a situation, adding value to a relationship. So y'all tell me, just based on what I just said, like, one, can you tell the difference between investing in a relationship, or can you give examples of how you've invested, and or have you been victim of or been the person that has leveraged relationships, basically going in looking at the benefits of being associated, you know what I'm saying, being affirmed, you know, status, recognition. I need something out of this. I want to be this, significance, whatever your needs are. Do you know the difference between, or can you tell us what y'all think it means? An investment in a relationship, it could be a partner, friendship, family, co-worker, whatever. Is there a difference? What is the difference? Have you been on both sides of it?
That's a lot. It's a big difference.
It.
Yeah, no, it's a big difference in investing because you can see it all over and what you're doing. Like you said, people don't like to look at themselves to see if they're investing. So they look at the person to be like, oh, okay, I'm not getting nothing from here, so that don't mean I'm investing. And not realizing the fact is, if you invest in yourself, you can get the return that you need, that you're trying to get, if that makes sense. Because it's like you already, like a relationship, you go into it, you already expecting something. But sometimes the thing you are expecting is like, did you really honestly expect to get it when you're not even giving it? Like you're not even, taking the time to open up to that person because you haven't opened up with yourself. So you hold things back and not say things because you haven't did it for yourself, but yet you expect or have an expectation for that person to do it because you felt like, well, I'm investing, but it's like, are you really investing when you're not really saying what you need to say because you haven't dealt it with you? So, I mean, overall, I think it's for me, I can say I've been on both sides to where I can have that expectation and I can be the person that use that to say, I did this, so that means I'm investing. Like I gave you my time, and I don't even like quality time like that, but I gave you 2 hours. All right, let me cash in my 2 hours. Like, so it's so much to unpack because when you like you said, levitating, this is like you're almost getting to a point to where you second guessing yourself on what you're not doing. Like you second guessing, like, okay, like, you know what? I know I need to be doing this, but I'm just gonna stay on the fence and just hope. Like I'm just gonna throw a hope out there because when you invest and you see it, like no matter what, like I went to go play basketball today. It's been a minute. But when I played, you can like the guys was able to see through the years of investment that I stayed in the gym, that my form, my still on the calling defense, calling the screen. They was like, man, like what? You still play? I said, man, I ain't played in a minute. But because I have invested, it becomes so natural to do. Even in a friendship, like when you have a friendship, you don't have to ask. If you don't hear from somebody from a long time, like I ain't hear from you all like for almost 2 weeks. But because I invested in the friendship, I didn't have to second guess what was going on. Like I invested, so I know what was good. Even if you don't tell me, it's something in that person that's gonna be like, they invested because they're genuine. So I need to at least just let them know. Like they ain't got to know the whole story. I just need to say something like, hey y'all, I need some time. Cool. You ain't got to sit there and give me the whole rundown. Because we invested, it's a different language that is being spoken when you invest, and you'll see it and you'll know it, period. That's how I feel.
Facts. But you got Royce. Coach Royce.
So first of all, everybody is in it for something. Don't fool yourself.
Word.
Don't fool yourself, because you fooling yourself if you try to make it seem like you're not in it for something. You in a relationship to get something out of it. That's the purpose of relationships, whether it's mental, emotional, physical, financial. Like you're in it for something. The thing is it going to be reciprocated? And if it's not reciprocated, right, by either, is it going to maintain? Is it going to sustain itself? And if it doesn't, then okay, you know what it was. It was purely, situational. Maybe it was something that you leveraged to get what you wanted. You invested some time, you invested some energy, you invested some things into it. But was it a long-term investment or was it short-term? In long-term investments, there's some things that go with long-term investments. Sometimes you got to be patient because you may not get a return on it. So you got to think about that. You get long-term investments. You're in the long-term investments because you understand that you're not going to get an immediate return. You understand that? And then versus leveraging, you're looking for something immediate. And it shows in your actions, it shows in your demeanor, it shows in like how you talk, you know, all of that stuff. It's like, okay, I'm in this because I need to get something out of it. What am I getting out of it?
Hey, but coach,
yeah.
There's people that will make it look like an investment, and it's a leverage and it's an opportunist the whole time. So you got people that will tell you, "Yup, I'm looking for something out of this." No questions asked. I'm giving because, you know, hopefully I get something out of this, a relationship, or we go deeper, we take it to the next level, whatever the case might be, a job. You know, this is where they talk about people sleeping their way to the top, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We gonna get our feet wet a little bit. There are people, and I'm like, as a coach, I'm like, it's so hard for me not to speak on this because, coach, everything is a game to me. So I cannot take somebody playing basketball and just throwing the ball at the rim. I don't care if I'm coaching them or not. I'm like, yo, you disrespecting the game. You know what I'm saying? Just go on and shoot it and shoot it right. Just shoot it right. You know what I'm saying? Like if you out here looking for a highlight tape, you trying to impress me and make it look like a whole reel, and you really are only in this not even for the long term, Royce. You in this on a project basis. You trying to accomplish something specific.
No doubt.
But you'll go make it look like this is long term. I'm in it for the long haul, right? But in reality, you just looking for, I just need to get a house. I just need to get a car. I just need to get on my feet. You know, I just need to get this, or I need to get this job. Or I need to get this opportunity. Because some people make it look, and I'm talking about they go through great lengths. And as a coach, when I see people practice, Willie, and then I see them playing a whole different way, oh man, it just make me feel like I don't know who you used to playing around, but
them all practice team people, all practice, they look good and warm up. It's like, oh, I bet they got the business.
No. I'm talking about the people that don't practice well, but expect to play well. Right?
Yeah.
I'm expecting to play well, but you don't even practice. I'm at the gym, you never come. Yeah. But when it's game time,
that's it. How do you practice then? So how do I practice my? Let's go.
So somebody could show up to practice, got all the gear on, got all the new shoes on, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they half stepping. They just there. They got everything. They come to practice every day, but you know, and I'm coaching a young team right now, and they be so surprised when they don't get in the game. But I'm like, I can't understand why you can't correlate how you practice with because that's your investment time, right? That's your investment time. So when I'm at home, I'm investing in my family, but like social media, I may look like on social media, look like everything is smooth, but I got real life witnesses that see that this ain't how I'm living. Just like me, if I'm coaching, I'm not saying I'm perfect, Willie, but I'm investing in myself, meaning that I'm still adding value. We're not talking about I'm just trying to play. Not saying I'm not gonna make mistakes, but I'm investing because I go to practice every single day, so I'm expecting to have a good. But am I gonna have a good game every day? No. But I'm not looking to get something out of the situation. I'm looking to get something out of myself first.
Yeah.
Get something out of myself first. But I'm seeing that just because I'm invested, I'm learning that people will pretend to be invested. And I'm learning that a lot of people, unless you are bold, we won't even call people out on it. We'll let it ride. You know, we'll let it ride. I'm victim of it. I can't, y'all tell me, can you tell when somebody is pretending that they're investing? And can you tell when you're pretending to invest in your goal, your vision, your idea, or in your children's relationship? Am I just taking my kids out because everybody else is doing it because I want to make sure I'm keeping up with? Because I started to feel like that. Maybe I'm not doing enough, but are you thinking of stuff for you to do? So can you tell when people are saying it, acting like it, but you know for sure that, no, not even saying you know for sure, like you said, you see all the actions, but is the energy and effort there, that the what is it, the vibe behind what they're doing? Because it could look good. How do we tell though? How can you tell? What's been your experience?
One thing, Coach, and this is a law from from the Bible. You judge a tree by its fruit. Period. Like you judge a tree by its fruit. Like if you say you an apple, right? If you say you an apple and you are producing cherries, that's not the same. It's not the same. So whatever you are, it's going to come out. And why? Because patterns of behavior always went out.
Yeah.
Whatever patterns of behavior that you have, like it's going to come out. 90% of your patterns of it turns into behavior. So your habits, 90% of your habits turn into to the behavior in actions. So that comes out. And then to your motives, your character, all of those things come. I mean, they shine so that's not authenticity. Authenticity carries with it a bunch of things. And you'll be able to know if someone is authentic or they're putting up a front or a show. And then two, if I go spiritual again, it's like, okay, you have basically a type of discernment, right? And discernment will tell you, like, you know what, this person here, they only out for numero uno, or they're out for this, or they're out for that. And so your intuition, things like that will tell you how people really are. And then two, what? Ask their friends. Ask their peoples. They'll tell you something too. And then ask the people, ask those who are closest to them. Like, is this person dependable? Or are they not? So those are the things I had.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely noticeable when like you said, somebody not being the authentic self, because it's things that they do. Like you said, it's body language. Is, you know, you have just been talking to somebody and just feel like it's like eggshells. Like you just be like, there's something you ain't saying. Like what really is it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can say it, but it's like they want to, but they not, like, you know it, because you can hear so many people be like, I don't want to lose the relationship because they invested, but they never ask themselves, what did they invest? Like, what did you really invest?
Good. That was my next question. What is investing?
What did you really invest? Like, did you invest in yourself to say, you know, they be like, well, I invested, you know, I can't get back time. I can't get back, you know, the gifts. Like, but through all of that, because and this is how I feel, I want to play devil's advocate. Sometimes it takes you being in that relationship or being with somebody to see the investments that were not good. Like, we talking about, you know, you take it from stocks. Like, we cannot sit here and say every stock is a good investment. That's not true. But the only way you'll find out is if you put $3 or $4 in there. That's the only way you're really gonna find out. Then you can be like, that wasn't a good investment. But you have some people be like, that wasn't a good investment, but he go $10 more. That wasn't a good investment, he go $15 more. Like, but you see the things that are adding up to where that investment is not good, but yet you keep pouring into it.
So we gamble.
There you go. So it's not an investment, it's gambling.
So what does investing look like in a relationship? And give some examples of what you do to invest in a relationship with yourself, and then what you do to invest in a relationship with others. Lakeisha,
So
I see you over there. I know you in the car.
Yeah.
We got you.
So one thing I do as far as investing in relationships is
every time
I give things away.
Can I hear?
It's a
Can you hear
small
me?
delay, Lakeisha. I think it's a small delay when you're in the car. My bad.
Okay.
Go ahead, Coach Willie. Who was talking? You, Royce? Who was
Royce got
talking?
it. I'll
Go ahead,
follow.
Royce.
Almost lost my train of thought.
What is investment?
so
What does
invested.
investing in
He's so
relationships
invested.
look like to you? And one, you investing in yourself, and then what does it look like when you're investing in, you know, relationships, whether it be work, family, child, whatever? What is that? Give me some tangible acts and evidence of what it looks like to make an investment.
So one of the things that I've done as far as investing in a relationship is that I just gave away my time for free without, necessarily expectations or a return from that. And an example is Michigan Works GED program. I spent over a year, maybe a year plus, giving away. Like, I was on a consistent basis going there and investing my time and effort, knowledge, whatever, into that program. I did that for free. You know what I'm saying? And so that's one of the things that I say as far as investing is that you have to give yourself away. Like, give yourself away freely, not with the expectation that where you gave is where you're going to harvest. So where I planted my seed is not necessarily where I'm going to get that harvest from. And so, and when I did that, it definitely helped me in a number of different ways. So that's one of the ways there that I'm thinking right now. And then somebody else can chime in and I'll think of something else later.
And those in the comment section, y'all, those that are watching, like, give me some tangible acts of what you invested in love or in relationships, and what other people may have invested in you. Go ahead, Coach Willie.
Oh man. So I just had this recently with my daughter. Just being able to invest in her. So a tangible for me is, like you said, it's pretty much time. Like, I'm a sticker for time. So wherever you invest for yourself, it's gonna be the same in people. So, like, I had just worked an 8-hour shift and she wanted to go run a mile. I was like, I wanted to say, I know. But like Roy said, I had to give myself away for that mile because it was bigger than the mile. You know what I'm saying? It opened up another door for another investment, for another opportunity. And like Ross was saying, like, for me, like I said, y'all know I just got hacked. My account got hacked, on Facebook. So I was like, oh crap. Like, all the people that I had gained trust with, time, reaching out, doing what I do. My investment was people was calling me, inboxing me, texting me because they knew there was nothing like me. So the fact that my investment didn't come in the way that I wanted it, that's how you got to give it. You got to sometimes give the investment in a way that you don't really want to, and it. Like, there are times, I'll be honest, there are times where I don't want to sit there for 30 minutes and just find random people to just encourage, but I gotta do it. I gotta do it because I'm invested in me to know that this is going to bring something that somebody needs, and I might not get it the way back. So it's knowing that, like Roy said, you don't have to give in the aspect where you're gonna get it back the same way, because you're not. It's gonna come in a different form. So that was one way. So time for me was one. When you don't feel like doing it, it's giving grace, giving the opportunity for a person to really talk and not interrogate. I think so many times we interrogate versus just having a conversation. Like, I can learn everything about you without asking you probably 5 questions, or making it seem like, we're about to sit here and play 21 questions. What do you do? How you been? Like, just have a conversation. That's an investment by itself. So I would say time. One investment is making a choice. Like, making a decision, that I'm going to just step out. I'm not going to do what I used to do because I push people back, versus, when I really want. It's crazy. Like, you invest in something and then when you get it back, you push it away. Like, like what? Like, what are we doing? Like, the same thing that you wanted, you was actually getting it. You invested in it, but now you're pushing it back because you're getting it. Because you haven't decided that maybe that's not the person you want to get it from.
Mm-hmm.
because they're giving it to you, but maybe that's not the person you want that you really want to give it from. So I would say those. I would say time, making a decision, and the choices that you make in those investments. Because at the end of the day, you have to invest. It's just you get to decide what you get to invest in and be okay with it when you make that decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, it's okay to do both. I'm not saying that you shouldn't leverage. I think it just needs to be transparent, like you said. If it's an investment, I don't think you have to leverage. That's why I said that's why I made the topic the way I made it, because you shouldn't have to choose between investing and leveraging, because investment automatically should bring you about a return. I feel like if it's of value, it should automatically, bring a return. But I'm learning too that some people don't value the investment. And it don't matter how much you invest. It don't no matter how good you do and how much they may know and see and witness and have video or pick whatever they have. It doesn't mean that they ever have to acknowledge it, and that's okay. And I think that's the thing that we have to understand, because when you get invested in relationships, it's hard not to want to leverage it, only when you start to feel like there is no return. My values not reciprocated. It's just not being appreciated. It's being taken for granted.
Yes.
And just like I told Terry, a lot of things that we do in the moment, you're going to do alone. Like, I was literally outside and I was having a moment with myself, right? I'm outside in the car. This young dude walks up to get into my car. The door is locked though. I'd never seen this dude in my life, right? In my parking lot. Never seen him in my life. He opens the door is locked. And normally, like, I ain't scared. Like, I go to the hood and go to the gas station. I'm not one of them. But normally I'll be like, yo, what you doing? But in the moment, Willie, I had just prayed to God and I was like, God, I know that I know that I have value, but in certain moments, situations can make you feel like you don't even exist. Like, there's no trail of the evidence of anything you've ever invested. And it hurts. I ain't gonna lie to you. It hurts. And I was like, God, I just need you to give me another confirmation. And as I'm having my moment, this dude walks to my car, got tattoos on his face. I'm talking about never seen this cat. Normally, if you a scary person, you gonna lock your doors and probably start the car. Maybe, I don't know. If I was scary, I probably would have did that. But instead, I just looked at him, and the way he looked at me, I could tell something was wrong. And then he seen my Fiji water on top of my car, Willie, just asked me if he could have it. I said, yes. We in COVID. You want to drink after me? You don't know if I got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know. Investment. Yeah. I'm going somewhere with this, right? So as he's drinking the water, I'm like, what is going? I'm thinking to myself, and then I just was like, this is a confirmation of who I am. I was like, yo, and he was like, I just lost somebody, and I was like, I have too. I did too. And then he started crying. Never seen this dude in my life. It's COVID going on. He ain't got no mask on. I don't have one on. You know what I did? I sat there and I hugged him with both arms like I knew him, like he was my brother. And I just told him, I was like, you can't give up. I was like, we gonna lose in life. We gonna feel like we losing in moments. But I was like, whatever's going on, I was like, it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. I was like, how old are you? 22 years old. And you know what he told me, Royce? This is my investment, because I start to feel like people that don't appreciate who I am, what I invest, not looking for nothing in return. I just like to invest.
Yeah.
I never wanted nothing. Everything I've ever gotten came from God. It never came from people. When it comes from people, it's extra. It's like getting dessert. It's extra. When you tell me you appreciate me, you love me, and you acknowledge me, that's extra. I don't need that to know that I'm valuable. That's extra. But me standing there hugging this dude and telling him that, and he told me, Royce, he was like, I came out here to steal a car, to go. Why he walked up to my car, I don't know. I guess he didn't know I was in it. And he just told me what he was gonna do. And he was like, yo, after talking to you, he was like, I can't even describe. I let this man sit in my car. We listened to a little bit of Drake for a second. He was like, I got Apple Music. I never did this before. I never did this before. I've done this pre-COVID, but today, the way I was feeling yesterday, I was like, man, I don't need to be affirmed, but is there any evidence of what value I have with these type of people, with this person or with this? Is there any value? But he showed me today, everything I invest, of course you got value. A perfect stranger can see that. So I'm telling you, everything is an investment. I don't need you to give me the return. It's just crazy that I just need you to invest in me. I don't need you to return my investment. You add value to me any way you want to, Royce. Any way you want to, Will. I don't even care. I'm not here to tell you how to play the game. You here to play your game, but we all playing the game together. We on the same team. So I'm just saying, like, and I'm so emotional. Y'all know we done had 2 weeks off, but I appreciate.
Let it out. Let it out.
I appreciate and people that have invested in me, not just money. I'm talking about energy. I'm talking about prayers. I'm talking about inboxes. I'm talking about people that I may not haven't even responded to. They'll send me another message of encouragement and another one, and I haven't given them anything. That to me, that's the return. Yeah. For me giving it to somebody else that may not appreciate it, you can't even acknowledge it. And I'm not looking for acknowledgement. To me, that comes with investment. When it's valuable to you, of course you share that, right? But I'm never going to pretend. I'm never going to pretend that I'm investing if I'm not. I'm not going to be an opportunist because everything's an opportunity. I don't have to get opportunities through my relationships. So that's why I said this, because you don't have to choose, like you said, between the two. If you're investing, you automatically get a return. Whether it be from that person, now you do got to know how much should I invest in this? Like you just said, Willie, I need to pull back. I'm investing too much in people that don't even want to acknowledge that I even exist. Do not acknowledge me when you see me here, and then you want to share what leveraging looks like, because you never invested. You leveraged the picture, you leveraged the situation, you leveraged the opportunity, but you never invested. Yeah, so the evidence be flawed. Pictures, videos, statements, only you know is by the vibe and the energy that is exchanged between you two, and there's witnesses to prove it. To me, the squad, Breathe You, APOC, you know what I'm saying? These are all witnesses to investments. This ain't just a groupie, I need to post a picture with ET. No, somebody invested in me. I never asked ET to take a picture. The first time we took a picture, I was asked to be in it. I was given a shirt. As bad as I wanted to. Yeah. I was like, nope, I want to invest so much in him. I don't want him to give me nothing. I just want to learn from him. To me, that's an investment. I'm not looking to get tangibles out of him, money, none of that. I just want to learn from you. So that's when I say investment versus leveraging. You never have to leverage. Never have to leverage. Y'all give me some feedback.
Coach AJ, what you just said. So people will never know that I'm associated with Eric Thomas, Dr. Eric Thomas, because I don't never post anything about it. I don't post that I got his number. I don't post that I'm digging. I don't post any of that. I don't post that I've things that only him and I, or him and First Lady Didi would know. I don't post.
And I've been there with you. I've been there with you.
You know what I'm saying?
Only witnesses know. Right.
Yeah, only people, and you would never know because I don't leverage the relationship like that. I'm genuine. I'm in a relationship with you because I choose to. I don't want nothing from you. I want nothing from you. But I'm blessed to be in the position. That's what the Bible says is better to give than it is to receive.
That is a fact. Come on now.
To give, like whatever I'm giving it freely. I'm not giving it with attachments, with expectations, with things on it. I'm giving it because you know what? I know that, and I said it earlier, is that I know that I may not get a return specifically from you because you're limited. God is unlimited. So the return that I get from him, that'll last me forever. And what he gives me, oh man, it's more than phenomenal. And so when we invest in relationships or we leverage relationships, we have to, again, just look at our motives as like, okay, what am I doing this for? Like really, like, and I look at what we've created here with the coach's perspective. We've all come into this like, okay, what can we give? Not what can we receive. I'm not looking for no more likes. I'm not looking for no more followers. I'm not looking for no more, I'm not promoting, broadcasting. I'm not doing none of that stuff. We don't do none of that stuff here. We come here with topics that are relevant to us. And we know that, man, this has been a challenge for me. And so guess what? It might be a challenge for somebody else too. How can we help each other? How can we iron sharpens iron? How can we help our brothers and sisters elevate? Get out of poverty mindsets. Get out of toxic relationships.
Come on now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how can someone truly be healed? Like, I don't need to leverage. I don't need you to make me better or to feed into me.
Right.
You know what I mean? In that sense. To stroke my ego. I'm like I know that. I know what it means to be taken advantage of. And I also know what it means to take advantage of other people. I've been on both sides, and I'm being honest. Like I've done it. Like,
Gotta keep it real. Come on now.
Straight up. It's like straight up,
Mhm.
and because I'm real, now I can extend grace. I can extend mercy.
Man.
I can be this person because because I've done it.
I know, man. Now I got to say it. That's why I'm like, dang it.
Tell the truth. Shame the devil.
It's the truth. And because people aren't authentic and they're not honest, like don't, again, you fooling yourself. You're fooling yourself because other people see right through what you're doing, but you want to act like you're not doing it. Like, okay, keep fooling yourself.
I think you said it, man. You just hit the nail on the donkey. The fact that I've been on the other end, I did it more. I was on the other end more than I'm on the other end now. So I was in investment for all the wrong reasons, more than I was for all the right reasons. So now that I'm really making a decision to choose to invest, I want to give it freely because I was in moments where I wasn't giving it freely. I was taking. I was just taking. So the fact that I'm done with taking because I know what that feeling's like, I don't want to ever experience that again. So that's why it's just in me to like, I can't. It's like the choice in me. It's like I had to invest in the way to where if I don't get nothing back, I've already invested back then enough to where I gotta pull from that. Like, nope, you can't even. I'm all out of investments in that area. So that means I can't do nothing but give it this particular way. And this is the only way I know how to give it. That's why, I love an action. Like just last night, I had my coworker, they had to buy one, get one sub. So I ended up getting another one. I wasn't gonna eat both of them, and like something was off. I've been there for almost like a month and just something was off. And I was just like, I said, okay. Went to her, gave her some words of encouragement, and the first thing she said, nobody has ever invested and given me anything. I'm like,
see what I'm saying?
What the crap? Like, all I did was give her a sandwich and she lost it. She was just like she was in defensive mode. She was like, why are you doing this? Why you being? I'm like, because this is why I'm doing it, because it's never been done. So because it's never been done, you can see that it's genuine. You my supervisor. I don't need a raise. I don't have to be here. Like, I'm not saying like do special treatment. Like I won't break just like everybody else do. But it was just like doing that just allowed her to see me in a way that she never did. She was like, that is somebody who is genuine, that has invested to where if I never get anything back, I can leave today. I have invested to where she can say, man, I remember this one person that just did a simple act of kindness to invest in something that we all need. So, and when you said that, man, I think it just brought me back to where I can't give it no other way. Like when you invest, it's never a loss. But what happens is what happens is they think they lose because they look at what the value is now and not look at the end result. Think about it. If you in stock, it may cost you $100 to get one stock, but you're not looking at the one stock. You're looking at the fact that it's trending to be $1 billion. So that can either say, hey, I'm going to stay in this stock because I see I can make $1 million, or I should get out because I don't value this enough to get the $1 million. And that's what normally happens. We end up investing that one time, and then the moment that the $1 million don't come, we like, oh, I'm out. And then what happens? The stock market go up and you done lost everything. Well, you could have been $1 million overnight, but because of that one thing that you invested in. So that's
and it's your approach, like you said. The approach is, am I trying to gain an advantage? Because that's what leveraging is. You're just doing this for your advantage. And like you said, everything is to your advantage anyway. But doing it through relationships, like you should be able to say that. If you want to leverage the relationship, if you can't tell somebody that's what you're doing, that to me is nothing wrong with it. If you can say it, because if it's business, of course we want to see what can we put together. If we get married, of course we want to see how can we make this benefit both of us. Like that's the whole point of us being together. That's the problem is when people don't say what they want. And that's when it becomes you start to turn into an opportunist. You start to turn into somebody that's using somebody or dragging people through things or whatever the case. You're trying to get something done for yourself. At some point, you need to know that, like you said, Willie, everything is an investment. At no point should you just be in it for leveraging at all. Because I feel like that's when you try hard, you die hard. That, like Kanye said, like you're trying too hard to get something out of something. And to me, it just, you're asking for a brutal relationship at some point, like you said, Royce. At some point, it's gonna come to the surface, and unfortunately, a lot of us get used first before we recognize it. Unfortunately, we get leveraged first. But the benefit in that is, like you said, now I'm understanding and appreciating when people add value to me. It's so obvious the people that don't, that never have, that maybe only can. You've been playing your hardest and they still don't think you good enough. When you go to another team and they see you hooping, I just, at this point, it's like you start to think there's no other teams because people can literally make you feel like you don't have the value. And like I said, you don't really learn to appreciate things until you see the opposite end of things. Or like you said, you're the one using, because I'm not innocent. We all leverage. We use people for different things and different, like you said. Now the difference between me is I'm honest. Before, I couldn't tell you the truth. Maybe I couldn't articulate my needs, right? I didn't know what I needed. I just needed something. I needed not be alone. I needed not, whatever the case might be. I need dinner, a date, whatever the case might be. Now it's like, nope, you're not about to just get with a man to take care of things because you just don't want to be by yourself. You ain't about to just get with people just because you don't want people to look at you like a single parent. Because I know a lot of people, they make looking at other people trying to make it look a certain way makes you think you have to do certain stuff. I am not going to leverage anything. I'm only going to invest. I don't want to leverage a man. I don't want to leverage a relationship on strictly what can we get out of this. I can get everything out of me. Can you get everything out of you?
Exactly.
That part.
And that's why.
How much are you investing in you? How much have you invested in people around you? Because a lot of the time we give people credit for not investing jack squat. They just show up every time they get an opportunity like fans, and we start acting like they invested. They ain't gave a dime. They show up at every party with no gifts, but they the ones in the room laughing, playing, talking. They the life of the party, but they haven't invested nothing. So I'm saying, and sometimes people don't have none because I've been that person that didn't bring nothing, but I'm investing my energy.
And be leaving with a whole bunch of stuff.
Sometimes I ain't have nothing. I have nothing to bring up my energy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, I'm not playing nice ball no more because life is serious to me. Life is very serious to me because if I want to win, at no point do I stop taking this game serious. At no point do I wait for circumstance, death, me losing money, me missing an opportunity to be somewhere, or I'm trying to make this happen for myself. Nothing in life is going to ever make me stop investing in it. I'm done leveraging. You know why, Willie? Because leveraging to me is like a street terminology. It's like that slick car salesman. You just looking for. You know the dad on Matilda. I don't know if y'all seen that movie Matilda. The dad that Miss Trunchbull was like, "You sold me a lemon," and he was just trying to find ways to slap stuff on cars. Some people really got the nice car, but they just threw some parts on there and they just trying to sell it for the highest price for blueprint value. You know what I'm saying? And it's not worth it because you just make it look good, but you're not invested. So I'm challenging myself to make sure that I'm not leveraging nothing, not people, not the situation, not how I'm trying to look in the situation. Yeah. I guarantee you I'm not going to leverage because I know, Willie, like you said, I've done this before. Now I'm like, God, you're going to have to show me how to only invest because I believe there's a return on investment for everything we do. The law of compensation says that. The law of attraction says that. The Bible says that. Whatever you believe, it always shows you that what you do does come back to you. And nobody specifically is assigned to return it to you, right?
Yeah.
So investment in love, like that dude that walked up to my car, I could have told him to get the heck away from my car. I don't know what you own. I could have been like, man, he probably on drugs. I couldn't even think like that because I don't know where people are. And I know that confirmation in my spirit, man. I'm going to invest in every opportunity I get. And I don't know how it's going to pay me back, but I know I'm going to be paid.
And Coach AJ, what you saw in that moment too is the good in other people. Because at one point, you may not have saw the good in you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we don't see the good in ourselves, and so we act accordingly.
Yep.
But because now you see the good in you, now you can see the good in other people, even though we have made some poor decisions. We made some poor decisions, but we've had an opportunity to change. And that young man that got into your car, he had an opportunity. He didn't know what was going to happen, but God presented that to you and was like, boom, here is a divine, divine connection, divine intervention.
But that's the investment, Royce. And that's the investment that he needed.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like that was something that he needed. Again, she already knows her. She knows her value. He didn't know his, which is why he was going to be going to steal a car, because he thought that was the only way that he could, obtain some sort of value is by stealing a vehicle. But he came to a person and listen, man, your value is more than that.
That just hit me hard.
He
was stealing the car because he knew the value of it. He thought the value of the car. He thought the value of the car was what he needed. But what he needed was an interaction with the right human being to show him his own value.
He did. He was actually leaving a confrontation. He was going to steal the car to get away from whoever the dispute happened with and what the loss he was dealing with.
Yeah.
He was going to take a car to get out of here. Mm-hmm. And after that conversation, I was like, when people are emotional, when people go through this moment was for you to be able to calm down, to think, to go back to have the conversation. I was like, because you didn't have to sit here and listen to me. But I was like, it's a reason for that. Like you said, you would have had a whole problem had you stolen a car. Then the situation wouldn't have changed with the person you just walked away from. It wouldn't have brought the person you just lost, that lost their life back. And you would have caught a charge for something. Just for what? So just the fact that he said, I'm about to go back in here. He was like, I just got a whole different perspective. And I don't even know this dude. And I was like, yo, I love you. If you ain't been told that you loved and that you are valuable and that you gonna be somebody.
That's right.
I was like, I'm telling you, you are. And like you said, as strong as I am and as much affirmation as I've been given by clients and people that know me, there are still moments where I'm, you want to experience this. You don't expect not to experience it when you're used to getting it and you've invested. But I just had some moments over the weekend where I was just like, man, you know, you around people that know you so long, and it's like there's not a trace of it nowhere. And I was feeling in my spirit, just not depressed, but just low, because I'm like, out of all the things I do for perfect strangers, the people that have known me the longest or have known, and it's because whatever you've seen the worst side of me, you know what I'm saying, Royce? Sometimes people don't forget how horrible you might have been, or what you've said, or what you've done. So they equate your value based on what they saw in the past. No matter how much you've outreached, outplayed that game, they gonna remember the game you didn't score, right? You done had 100 games. They just know the games you didn't score. They know the games you didn't win. But I'm telling you, that dude, him coming up to me, even with me being a coach, even with me, like you said, we don't talk about ET all the time. Even all that I've done, I've never told nobody. That moment meant more to me than just this whole weekend, this whole week, just feeling a certain way. So I'm thankful that a perfect stranger, that I can pour that type of investment into a perfect stranger. And the people that follow me on Facebook, the people that message me, it is a blessing to do it. And I'm not going to stop doing that. So y'all can close us out. My bad. My flamingo is fired. Fired off.
Ain't no my bad.
No, you back. You back. You back. You back. You've been balling all this up. Now it's time to just.
I'm free.
Yeah, you got to vomit it all out. I got to get it out. But
and let me tell you, one of the things that I started doing in some of my sessions is playing the game of chess.
Chess club.
Yeah, playing the game of chess with some of the clients I have, because it's life. That's life. You have to. You're making certain moves. You have to know the value of each position, each piece on the table. And sometimes you respond out of emotion. And you have to understand. And then sometimes you're leveraging, you're investing, you're doing certain things on that same playing field to get an outcome. But you have to understand that each thing that you do, or each move that you make, there's going to be some type of either benefit or consequence to it. And I'm trying to make sure that it's a benefit.
Facts.
So I'm reaping something that's going to come back to me in some way that's going to be good. And so I'm putting it out there. And so I'm investing high. But again, understanding that the return on that may not come from this person or that person or whoever, but I know that the return is coming.
Facts.
Yeah, because even when you lose, you win. That's the whole part of investment. Even when you lose, you win, because you learn something, and most of it is for you. It ain't for the other people. It's like, man, like I was so used to giving everybody, all of me, and I realized I just need to give bits and pieces. Like I just don't need to give it all. I just need to give bits and pieces, and that way I still can win, and I won't be so, not invested in areas that I'm like, man, if I'm investing in everybody else, why not investing in myself? Like you said, and you can see it. Like people don't. There's certain things they can see that you are invested in yourself. People see me wearing my logo. People see it in the background. Like it's I'm invested. I have invested. You don't have to question, do he invest in his stuff? I do. That's all I wear is my stuff.
Facts.
So because I've invested, so it's just like when people see that, something goes on in them to be like, I'm not going to speak to them because that person is invested. I mean, with us in general, like there are certain individuals that won't approach us because they know that we are invested. Like they know they can't come at us at a certain way. Like they know if they trying to talk to AJ, like, if you ain't invested, she might call that out real quick, and it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt because you ain't investing yourself. Now, if you invest in yourself, it won't hurt as much. If you come at Royce and you trying to holler at him, I'm telling you, like if you invested, he gonna be able to see it. And there are certain things that people just won't say and do, and that's what gets them to feel like, should I invest? Should I not invest? And that's when you know that you got to deal with yourself first, because you're gonna have to ask yourself that. If I can just go up to it and say, hey, such and such, whoop the whoop, you can be like, oh, okay, I see where it's going. You got it.
I got a question. Did you just send me your friend request, Willie?
Yes, I did, bro. I did. I told you I got hacked, bro. I told you I got hacked.
I sent you messages when you got
I
hacked.
know. So because I invested, I wasn't gonna start a new one. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I was just like, I'm not starting a new Facebook. I'm just gonna stay on TikTok and Instagram. I was gonna call it a day. But somebody who invested in me was like, you can't stop.
We need your voice, right?
Yeah, you can't stop doing just because somebody hacked you. And I was hot because I was one person away from like 2,000 people. Not that I
You ain't gotta worry about none of that, bro.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But my thing was, I was butthurt because people I've invested in and know me, I would have to go back and just get all those people back. But this time I was happy because there were some people that I probably need to cut loose. Like, just being honest. Like, I didn't need to have. They were just there. Like, I was like, they was there while, like you said, even when you don't invest, you invest. So it was just like they was there and I wasn't even invested. So I was like, what am I doing? What is the real reason? What is the real reason? I should be able to look at the frame of people I have and say, yep, I'm invested. Nope, not invested. I shouldn't be in the middle. I can yep, invested. So I was like, you know what? That was just another way for me to say, you know what? Got it. I got to level up. I got to deal with the fact that I know what I can invest in, what I shouldn't invest in. Because like I said, even when you invest, even when you lose, you still win in an investment. Like, even when you lose, and people will remind you of that, and you got to remind yourself of that. When those opportunities, when you're emotional, when you're frustrated, like AJ said it when last week, she was just like, she was about to give him the business, but she had invested. Like, if she didn't invest in who she was and who she's become, she would be on CNN right now reporting.
I said that on Clubhouse. They ain't. I gotta tell that story. Oh my gosh.
We're reporting live with a coach AJ.
Oh my gosh.
With a student that had like, wait a minute. But because she invested,
Let me look.
No,
you're right. You don't know. You won't know how invested. You gonna know how invested you are. And you know what? That moment, and just for people that not on Clubhouse, y'all should be following us on Clubhouse every morning at 6 a.m. Monday through Friday. The Coaches Cup. Anyway, shout out to the coaches again. Shout out to Don live from NY. All the people in here. I always got to give a shout out to y'all people. But I'm gonna just say this real quick, and we can get ready to close out because you brought it up, Royce. I mean, Willie, you brought it up, and Royce laughed, so it was confirmed. How invested I am in not just basketball, not just in coaching, but my vision as far as getting this facility and establishing a line of respect. And that moment, you know, when somebody says something egregiously inappropriate and almost testing your gangster and bringing up the old you know what I'm saying something that they shouldn't have said. In that moment, I don't care how much you've been around ET, how much you've been at church, and how many tongues you've spoken into. Something about being disrespected just make it just. And I'm a basketball player, so if you won't talk, I'm not the right one to talk to because I'm gonna talk until you want to fight. That's just the way it is. I've gotten enough control where I could go back and forth with you verbally, and I know how to restrain my physical capabilities. And that's a gift, right? Because some people are ready to fight you after a couple words. So being disrespected by one of the players, and that moment, I could have handled it a plethora of ways. But I'm shaking, literally shaking. My hands shaking, my mouth shaking because I want to say words that he needed to hear. I ain't gonna say inappropriate. I'm gonna say words he needed to hear in a certain language that I know is his language, right? But in that moment, it wouldn't matter if there was cameras there or audio there. I could have still said what I wanted to say in that moment. But I thought about the investment I would have made on him with the words that I would have said. He wouldn't have had any. I would have crushed potentially his future thinking of what he's worth.
That's right. That's right.
Verbally, I could have told him exactly where you're gonna go. You keep talking like that, where you're gonna be, because you showing me how you talk. I'm gonna show you where your life about to go. And it's not even to be funny. It's because I know for a fact. But because I'm committed to this prep school for the very reason of what he tried to do. And I was like, you never gonna talk to me like that again. I ain't gotta threaten you. But you better not ever talk to me like that again. Ever.
Ever.
I don't care who your
Ever,
mama
never.
is. I don't care who your dad is. I don't care who they are. I don't care. You better not ever talk. And I ain't gonna tell you what I'm gonna say or do. But I'm telling you, in the real world, you say something like that, bro, your future would be very difficult. And in that moment, I'm thinking about my future investment. And I had a family member tell me just the other night, Royce. She was like, you've been talking about this building for 10 years. And the old me, I could have been like, you know, but the new me is like, you're right. I have been talking about this for 10 years. And you're going to be my witness that I've been talking about this vision 10 years when I was losing youth to gun violence. I was losing youth to gun violence 10 years ago. Nothing's changed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm losing them to prison now, to drugs, to overdoses, to bad parenting, to being abandoned, to juvenile. So at this point, I'm glad she reminded me of how committed I've been, how much I've invested, how long I've been invested in this. It didn't just happen yesterday. She said it's been 10 years. I've never been this committed, not to a relationship, not to nobody, not even to my own kids. I'm going to be honest. I ain't been that committed over the 13 years of my daughter's life. I've had moments and my siblings, and you can ask their grandparents, I done brought them to them and like, you know what? I can't do this right now. I can't take care of kids. I'm not in the mental space and capacity to do it because I don't feel complete. I don't feel valuable. I don't feel this. I don't feel anything. You know why I felt like that? Because I wasn't invested. I was investing so much into other people's families, into their households, into their lives, and they weren't investing in me. They were making me perform and be perfect. And I could never do that, Willie. That's why I created the Work Mental Strength Training. I didn't do this for the rest of the world. I did this so I wouldn't blow up the world that I was living in. That's why I did it. I created this not to go off on people, not to say the thing that I felt like they should hear in that moment. And even this weekend, I was tested and I was like, I'm too invested to respond the way you probably want me to. And you're probably making me look this way because I told you the truth. I told you the truth because coach is going to coach. I don't care if this is my game, whatever game. I love the game. So I'm always going to coach. I have to. Because I only get one opportunity to do this, and everything, like you said, is an investment. You just better make sure that you're investing in you first before you invest in anything. Like Lakeisha just said, investing change over time. The more you grow, the more you value people, things, and relationships. Refuse to pour into an empty bucket. Just stop. Just stop pouring into an empty bucket. Unless it's your own. Because once yours is full and you got a fountain to get yours refilled, then you can pour into an empty bucket. I ain't saying ever because some people going to come to you empty. You know what I'm saying? I want to have enough of surplus of what I got, Willie, like you got encouragement, Royce, that you got in mental health. I want to have an overflow of surplus to the point where I can fill yours up like that 3-gallon thing, that Quality Dairy you could punch out. You got the 3 little gallons in one. You got the little pull-out thing. I can go refill up my gallon with the 3-gallon boy because I got 3 gallons on me all the time. You may be walking around with a liter, but I got 3 gallons on me at all times of energy to pour into people. So I'm so invested that I won't let what somebody says or does, how they think about me, what they think. I know that I'm invested in myself, and most importantly, I know I'm invested in God.
That's right.
But that's the key. That's the key right there. Like you just said, this person reminded you that you've been invested for 10 years. And we all just said that people will see what you are invested in. That is a reminder to show you something that you don't see because you in it. And it's hard to see something that you in, but when you are invested, other people will tell you and remind you of what you are invested in.
I swear. That's all I got, man. I'm not playing no games. I'm about to turn up. Y'all gonna see me real, like they say, we're gonna be playing real aggressive because what just happened to me over the last few weeks, Royce, I'm like, I have to play the game.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm on a new
invested
level.
too much. I'm
on a new
determined, and I got support right now across the country. Shout out to Urban Not Average, the organization I'm a board of directors on, based out of
awesome.
Los Angeles, California. I'm so it's such a blessing when people that have not met you, have not seen you in person, can say, I'm invested in you already. Before you even got the idea, you just bring them the idea. They say, I'm gonna take care of that for you because I believe in your vision. And I just came last week. I just came last month. Somebody said 10 years and people are coming along and they're willing to invest. I got people that have invested months ago in this project and this vision that 10 years ago, Royce, I couldn't get nobody to even listen to. So the investment will pay you. And I promise you, to my coaches, you're going to see a building this year. You're going to see a building this year. You're going to see a building this year. I'm telling you, we're going to walk in the building this year. It's already there's already investments already made. So by the time we open the doors, guess what? The investment to book the gym, to be in the gym, is already going to be paid in advance. We're not waiting until the doors open. This is going to be the best spot that Lansing, Michigan, even Michigan has ever seen. You know why? Because I got an army of people that are invested.
And it's paid off.
And it's paid off. Already got people waiting to build. All I got to do is find the land, and I already got the support. So keep moving. If I can do it for 10 years, you could do it. You can do it.
You know what? I was looking on Zillow, and on Zillow it had I think it was the mall or something, $1.5 million. The mall. I said the mall is up for sale.
Right across the street from me.
Oh, come on.
I just walked in there just 2 days ago. I was like, they need to let me buy this. Ain't nobody in here.
You better, girl.
Let's go.
Ain't nobody in here. This is unused land.
Man, it's open.
Use that.
Stop playing. Stop playing.
I seen that, and in my mind, I was like, yo, like, what can we use that for?
It's already there. That's
like,
what we use for you. That's why it's gonna sit there until it's done. What's for you is for you.
I just thought about it, and you just said that. Oh man, that's God. You know what I'm saying? Okay,
Campus.
We done. Yeah.
Yes. We done, man. Shout out to y'all. Hey, make sure y'all replay this. #replay for the replay squad. Shout out to y'all that come in. Thank y'all for the support. Thank y'all coaches for bearing with me as my family went through our grieving and we're gonna continue to. Y'all just keep me in y'all prayers, but I just appreciate y'all patience and just working with me because y'all know I've been in and out, not responding to text messages. I'm already bad with text messages, but I just appreciate your patience, and love and understanding, and just the words and the messages that everybody sent. And y'all have been extremely supportive. It's such a critical time where I felt like I shouldn't have been showing any weakness, being a coach, but y'all made me comfortable just being human. It don't matter what status you have, you're still a human being. You're still a real soul. It's okay to cry, feel hurt, get a little discouraged. But if you surround yourself with strong people, you can't stay there ever. It don't matter what nobody do to you, how people treat you. You around people that love and invest on you all the time. It wouldn't matter if 5 million people hated you. If you got 5 around you that can love on you, it feel like 5 million people. So I appreciate all the love, and coaches, especially with y'all, like keeping me encouraged and keeping me a part of things. So shout out to y'all. Share this. Make sure y'all hit us in the morning. DJ Willie's on the ones and twos for the 6 a.m. boy. We got Coach Royce.
We working over there.
Coach Lakeisha. Come on and get your cup filled. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Altar call, everybody. Altar call. I'm just kidding.
Altar call. Hey,
last call for some, what you say, worship. What you say? What you say, Royce?
Worship. Some Jesus.
Let's go.
I don't know, something. some coffee. Whatever you need. It's in the building.
Come get it. Get it filled. Let's go.
Yeah. Whatever you need, it's in the building. We got you.
Invest. Getting up in the morning. Start your day off right.
Yeah.
You gotta have focus in your cup.
And Coach Willie, guess what? It's already set up for the whole week, ain't it?
Yeah, you did it. I appreciate you, man.
Huh?
I appreciate
there we go. Investments.
Hey,
I appreciate you, bro.
Last week set up for you. You ain't have to worry about nothing.
Man, look I'm just gonna show
Next
up.
Week,
show up to show out.
Hey, You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm adding value however I can.
I appreciate that.
Let's go, coaches. See y'all bright and early before the
Yeah.
sun rises. Let's
Yeah.
go.
No doubt.
Love y'all.
Love y'all.
Peace, love, and hair grease.